Hey there, bros. Welcome to the LEC loser finals of Mad versus Fnatic. This is game one. I'll be covering the finals as well after this. So the winner of this these set of 5 games will then fight G2 in the grand final, which will be pretty exciting to watch, and I'll be covering those as well. So if you missed the previous ones that I've done, basically I'm going to try and cover this as best as I can from a support kind of standpoint. Try and figure out what both bot lanes are doing right and what they're doing wrong and why they're doing certain things in the game. So here we got on the red side, we've got Xayah and Nautilus versus, we have Aphelios versus Thresh. So Mad is on the blue side and Fnatic is on the red side. So looking at the two matchups, I think like Nautilus in general is stronger than Thresh in the actual, like in a 1v1, like Nautilus is just stronger. Nautilus can try and get away to a bit of terrain with his hook if he does get hooked, so he can kind of deny the Thresh hook. But just genuinely, the hook is just stronger on Nautilus, it's easier to land than the Thresh, but the Thresh has the added utility, which what the Nautilus doesn't provide. So the big thing with Thresh is the lantern difference and like the flay to stop dashes and things, whereas the Nautilus like, full-on engage is just stronger. So if Nautilus is able to actually engage on them quite early, they might have the advantage. Xayah level 2 is also not too bad either. You can see in the bot lane, look like maybe Thresh and Aphelios were going to hit level 2 first. Thresh is also able to auto-attack Nautilus early on. Here you see engaged, the Glacial Augment goes down. And as you can see, just slightly there, it looked like quite an even trade, but so you can see how Nautilus is wanting to go in because he should be stronger in the actual full-on engage. Looks like Fnatic are going to hit level 2 here first. Nautilus's hook, I think, will be slightly on cooldown, about to become off cooldown any second. Here we go, hook goes down. Okay, Thresh flashes away, doesn't get hit by the Nautilus root passive, but Thresh having no flash here already is already a big deal, and it doesn't look like he has Hextech flash. So the Thresh doesn't have Hextech flash, so he has no way of getting like an actual engage, sneaky engage on from the brush. So lead is already going into Fnatic, and if you were here for when that was a pretty cool Ivan move, I've not seen that before. If you've wow, that was really cool. If you saw the games of G2 with Mad versus G2, you could tell like the bot lane, like the Hylissang and the Kazi weren't as good as the G2 bot lane. And that already starts to seemingly already have cracks in already. That seemed to be kind of, at least from my point of view, some of the issues of some of their losses was the fact that they were just straight up like worse off in the actual 2v2 situation. Let me actually bring up the scoreboard. There we go, that's a little bit better, isn't it? And then let me bring my camera down too. So a lot more pressure still on the... We're getting pushed in quite a lot. So Fnatic is going to be exposed here to our jungle camp, and you can see that Ivan's coming out of their base. So Ivan won't necessarily be able to back it up. Nautilus, as we mentioned before, can hook himself to terrain, but it's still quite deep there and it is kind of scary. Rel jungle on Mad, I haven't actually seen a Rel jungle. Even when she was buffed for it, I don't think I actually saw a single one because I stopped playing League for like 2 weeks when Rel jungle was actually a thing. So I've not actually really seen this before, so this would be kind of interesting to see, but it doesn't... It have to be like a lantern play, but because Thresh has no flash, it's going to be really difficult to like lantern the Rel in without the flash. So you would want to do lantern, then flash, and then with Thresh, and then the Rel can then do her own stuff and then maybe get some summoners off of the enemy bot lane. But with Thresh having no flash just makes it so much more difficult for them to actually engage. Big wave being crashed in here. As you can see, that's the Nautilus hook to the wall denying the Thresh hook. Nautilus is trying to be annoying as possible here in terms of trying to freeze the wave, but I don't think that's going to work, and it looks like Aphelios is going to get a recall here. The hook is ready because it's a 50% cooldown when you use it on terrain, so this Thresh is caught out with no flash, and this is what I was talking about earlier, how the Mad bot lane just seemed just generally worse off. Hook under the turret though. Okay, well, really weird kind of situation happening there with the supports, but overall it's much better for Fnatic because not only is it, I think it's first blood also for the Xayah, you've also got the assist gold, whereas Thresh only got the 300. Just really disrespecting, I mean, nice flash there, auto attack, passives, roots, but if you don't know, Nautilus's hook is 50% lower cooldown when you use it on terrain, so it's actually quite a short cooldown, his hook, if he has to use it defensively. The auto attack there was pretty vital, so he had to kind of die for it, because otherwise it would have needed 2 auto attacks from Xayah. That's totally worth it, honestly, for Fnatic. That was really, really good. Look at the items now on the Xayah compared to the Aphelios. Having to get that, be able to get that Noon Quiver complete is pretty massive. Also, Nautilus is going to be happy for the extra 150 gold here as well. We're kind of crashing here. Looks like Mad will probably get a bot lane turret here though. Depending if they stay on the lane or not, that's not going to make a massive difference just yet. If they go spend the gold now, then it might be okay. Looks like Aphelios is going to be spending the gold, so that is going to be a little bit of catch up. I think there's only 100 gold extra towards the Xayah right now. Xayah has that wave to clear in and stuff, but that's not too bad. Aphelios are able to get Berserker Greaves here and a longsword. So there is like an 11 CS deficit though from the Xayah, but that the first blood helps out massively. And honestly, kind of like from the mistakes, honestly, from when Mad lost their games, it did seem to be a lot of bot lane goofs, and honestly, Hylissang kind of got caught, if I remember correctly, in one of the games. No, actually it wasn't. It was the G2 support I'm thinking of that was playing Nautilus. Got caught off a lot. Some stuff happening here in the mid lane. So you can see Ahri here is quite, you know, she's dipping down in HP already. Not the easiest lane to gank though when her ulti is ready, but if her ulti is on cooldown, definitely expect to see Nautilus like roaming around the map. He's not level 6 right now, so he doesn't have the ultimate, but yeah, mid lane's under a little bit of risk right now just because of the Ahri HP dipping down low and the bot lane just pushed in that wave. Does mean that they probably have some dragon priority in the bot lane, but Ivan is going up towards top, which is probably a little bit of a shame. I think the bot lane, Fnatic's bot lane, could have probably pressured in the dragon, especially with mid now having to recall. Definitely some jungle priority on the bot side of the map for Fnatic, but they're not using it for the dragon, which I think is a mistake. I think this is a free dragon here. I think dragon should totally be picked up here. Lost opportunity there. Talia does get the first plate on the mid turret. Ahri is going to be coming back in. Xayah's being pushed under the turret, 2v1 right now. Nautilus is kind of just slowly walking back into lane right now. Be interesting to see the actual 2v2 situation on the bot side once people start hitting level 6. Aphelios is the first one to hit 6. I'm sure Xayah's going to be hitting 6 next, and then I'm not sure between Thresh and Nautilus. But expect some things to happen soon. Wave pushing in again. Xayah should be hitting 6 soon. Ivan's now finally coming down into the bot side river. I think they maybe have seen that. Aphelios able to just push in these waves quite a bit with the blue weapon. Now he's lost the blue weapon, but now the Aphelios has the perfect weapons to fight. Hylissang lands the hook onto the Nautilus, but it looks like Fnatic are wanting to fight it because the Ivan is here. Hook lands onto the Aphelios. The Aphelios is flashing away. Nautilus does fall down. Aphelios does die, and Hylissang does have flash. The Thresh does have flash, but yeah, that's going to end up into a death potentially. Ahri is coming down to try and salvage anything here, and doesn't look like it. She has to keep going this way. Presumably because Talia's coming down, and she's probably going to ult here. She ults across right now. Fnatic's health bars are getting lower. Ivan goes down. Xayah's still alive. Rel falls down too. One more charge left on the Ahri ulti, but you probably won't see anything after that. It actually ends up being... how many kills is that a piece? That is just... Was it 1-for-1? Really? Nautilus and the Rel? No, Aphelios died, right? As well. Looking at the 2-for-2 at the very top there, and that doesn't seem... Right, there's more deaths there that happened than the 2-for-2, right? Am I going crazy? Yeah, Nautilus has died twice. Ivan's died 3 times. The scoreboard, that's such a big delay on that scoreboard. What is happening in this bot lane? I was so confused about the sloppy, sneaky Ahri kill waiting in the brush there. I think that's what happened, but I'm confused at the death counter at the top. It's not updating, so I got kind of confused. But yeah, the play here is good, but you got to be careful because the Aphelios red and white weapons are the 2 strongest weapons, and you kind of want to avoid fighting Aphelios when he has those weapons, but he does go down. It's a good trade, AD carry for support. Thresh having to flash, Ivan has to flash to carry up, and then Thresh does die, so it ends up being 2-for-1 in Fnatic's favor. Ahri does ult away. There's a lot of damage there, and then Rel comes zooming over. Talia ulti could have maybe been a little bit sooner. It looks like the Rel does die here. Yeah, so it ends up being like a 3-for-2, but then Xayah dies a little bit later on and ends up being a 3-for-3. So, bit of a messy fight. I think, honestly, like, if it went even of there, then it's kind of worrying for Mad, because that was kind of best case situation there with the red and white Aphelios weapons. Oh yeah, it looks like the LEC thing has been changed at the top, hasn't it? Because the kills are now updating properly for 4:4. There's something weird bugging with the UI and they've changed it at the top. Sorry about that confusion there. Technical difficulties. Meanwhile, we've got Zyra in the bot lane just pushing in plates for free, but she obviously needs to be a bit careful that there is going to be some sort of like, you know, collapse potentially on them. But there is 2 members of bot lane of Mad have gone to top. That's going to leave Cassante alone in bot side on that trade, and they just, I mean, you know, like honestly, that's question marks to Mad, like in terms of their top laner dying, because they know they got their top laner. Their top laner can't go top. He has to go bot because they swapped lanes, right? But they gotta expect that he's gonna get dove, surely. I don't know why he feels like he can walk up to the tier 1 turret and just take CS and stuff when most of the resources on his team are top, right? I'm quite surprised that the Cassante wasn't expecting some sort of collapse down there. That's a lot of solo gold going over to Xayah. So yes, they got first turret topside Mad, and they used the Herald up there and stuff like that, but Xayah just got a lot of free gold. She got another kill. I think she got the kill onto the Cassante, plus she got like 3 solo plates there. That's a lot of extra gold being funneled into this Xayah. So you've also got the Ivan that's going to be able to try and keep her up alive as well. So the Xayah's going to be really difficult to kill already. Or the solo XP as well. Now she's soaking up the mid lane. There's still 2 more minutes until plate's coming on. And we have our first pause. Yeah, so back onto the Cassante. It's really question marks like why Cassante felt like he could defend that turret. Because if you looked at on the top side, the Fnatic had given up that tier 1 top. They'd seen like, you know, 3 people top, Herald's going to be used on top. Just you have to give up and you have to walk away from it. Whereas Cassante didn't give the same respect on the opposite side of the map, and it gave Zyra a free kill for very little effort as well. So it was a good response from Fnatic in terms of punishing that greedy move, honestly, from Cassante. All Cassante can do really is maybe look around mid or just wait at tier 2 turret. There's quite literally nothing he can do in order to, you know, all that XP under the turret's gone, but it's the same for the top side as well. So both top laners kind of, in theory, like losing out there. And it seems like both teams want to try and funnel gold towards their bot laners. So the interesting thing about these breaks is that the players can't actually talk to each other, from what I understand. I think they have to sit there in silence. I don't know if the rules have changed on that. Looks like there is a little bit of chit chat going on. But yeah, I'm not sure what's going on. Let me see when the next pause comes off. We have the luxury of being able to fast forward here a little bit, don't we? Wow, it looks like it's a long pause. That's a really long pause. That's a like a 4 or 5 minute pause that can disrupt a lot of the gameplay flow. So let me, I think we're on going back into game now. So I think Fnatic probably look the most comfortable right now. First turret does go to Mad, and the gold is still extremely close, right? So there's still one big kind of like team fight in the mid game can change up a lot. I'd say so far I put more trust in the actual bot lane of Fnatic so far rather than Mad. Looks like the Ahri was quicker on the roamings and things like that though, so we'll see how things kind of come about. There's a big fight happening here now. 3 people in a tri-brush from Mad. Nautilus kind of getting hooked up completely. He hasn't got his ulti and he kind of dies for free. Xayah though is able to pump out a lot of damage here onto Thresh. Xayah ulti does finish off Thresh, but there's now no Xayah ult. Now Cassante's now kind of caught out, and now who's that? Ahri's now in the back now trying to distract. Poppy charges straight in. And she's getting crowd controlled like crazy. She's having to use her ult and flashing away. But on the bot side of the map, though, Fnatic get a humanoid Italia finds a kill on the Cassante under the turret. Now Philios is trying to get something back. That was a complete messy fight. Players everywhere dotted around. It looked kind of promising start there from Mad because Nautilus didn't actually get to do anything there. And I think if they just let the Thresh die, I think it actually ends up being like not that bad, and maybe like Mad can find that kind of like regroup. I think the problem with that fight though was Mad was just coming at it at too many different angles, and you saw like how like the Ahri kind of got like picked off. She didn't die, but she kind of got picked off a bit too early there. Whereas Fnatic were a much bigger ball of power going in a direction, and yeah, so they're able to like swat away like 1 or 2 units. Like if Ahri was more fed, able to like maybe look for a better pick, maybe that would work, but Yeah, we're going to see it again here. Just like, watch Nautilus. He hasn't got his ulti, but he's been the first one in. I think he probably thinks that Daisy is covering up a lot here, but it doesn't. And the Flay catches him out enough, and it might have enough damage to actually finish him off. So having to use the ulti to kill off the Thresh is quite a big thing, because it could maybe regroup. Mad could regroup and play around that, because that's their strongest player right now. But Cassandra is already down low HP after, honestly, a kind of a scuffed TP. And Ari gets locked on too, so yeah. And I think they just try and salvage it. Like, Mad are trying to salvage this bot lane situation, trying to kill Talia, but there's 3 people on the river. You got no river priority. You can't actually go for that. So just kind of an unnecessary greed death there. I don't think Aphelios actually needed to die. Flash Flay going into the Zion. She cleanses it away, but she doesn't have ulti, as we talked about earlier, because she greeded for the kill with it. She does go down. Nautilus is now rooting up a target onto Ari, but he goes down really, really quickly too. So really good Thresh play there. Really good a window of opportunity for the Zion. You know, we talked about how it did look a little bit iffy. Maybe Zaya using her ulti to go for a kill onto the Thresh there. And that's the punishment of it. Her ulti isn't ready for the next kind of, you know, when she needs it defensively. Gets caught out by the Thresh play. Really, really, really nice Thresh play. Even as she was able to cleanse out of the hook, the Glacial Augment on the ground slowed her down enough in order to not actually be able to get away. And yeah, just more mad people around, and it was a good collapse. Like, if Zaya has her ulti there, I think that fight probably changes quite a lot, to be honest. Cleanse and an instant Zaya ulti, and then it's just so many feathers on the ground. Be really difficult to kind of manage that situation. There is a dragon spawning up in now. Dragon has now spawned. Zaya is nearly there. Ivan's still coming out of base. So Fnatic need to kind of keep them busy here and keep them thinking that maybe, you know, they could get collapsed on at any second. Thresh looks for a hook, misses, gives opportunity for Nautilus to look for a hook, and then he misses too. So both hookers missing. Ivan's setting some vision up into the river. It looks like Mad might be giving this one up, because yeah, all three people on team Mad have reset. So that dragon's going straight over to Fnatic. That's going to be Fnatic's second dragon. That's kind of a nice kind of mid-game setup in terms of objectives for them now. They need 2 more for a Mountain Soul, which isn't too bad. So starting to seeing the transition that you usually might do in solo queue, where you've got like the AD carry and supports going towards mid. Both our AD carries are in mid right now. Supports are kind of resetting / looking for things right now. Looks like it's just a general reset from the Nautilus. And where is Thresh? Oh, he's in base. So yeah, both supports are kind of resetting right now. Expect maybe a play around this Herald, since that's the only objective up. Expect Vision being put down. There are lots of people clumping around in the area here too. Ivan is going to be able to get that Scuttle probably, so that's going to help in terms of vision and a bit of movement speed in the river. So Fnatic should maybe have some advantage here. It looks like the Scuttle is being contested though. Rel might be able to just go for this. Rel did to get it, so Mad have got Scuttle, but that does exposes Rel into a really, really, really bad spot, because she's by herself trying to steal that Scuttle away, and Rel dies. That's the jungler, and now that is a free Herald for Fnatic, so it's a bit of a scuttle bait there. So Scuttle can provide a lot of utility, like the vision and the movement speed. If a fight is going to break out there, can be really, really helpful. But Rel just kind of went in that situation, kind of like 2v4. Mad weren't really ready to defend the Scuttle. Like Fnatic were there ages ago, setting that up and waiting for the Ivan passive to go off on it. But looks like Fnatic are wanting to catch up more people. Don't know why Hillsong is in the river. I don't know why Thresh is in the river there. The Herald's done. There's no reason to be there anymore. That's going to expose top lane now too. Like, I don't understand here, because they know that they just lost their jungler. They're going to be doing Herald. They know that top side has no priority, but they are wandering around in no man's land trying to play it over that. In the meantime, bot lane is a fight between Ari and Poppy. Not a lot happening there, but there is a Herald pushing down onto the top side. It's going to hit the tier 2. Can they take the tier 2 turret of it? I think they can. I think that goes down. I was surprised they're not having more people hit it, and Talia took a couple of shots, but hey, even pros don't play perfectly. Looks like they're looking to punish though this tier 2 turret. I will say, even if they die here, there's no objectives here to go off to, so Talia will probably die for this turret, and it looks like Zaya might die as well. Zaya does have ulti and cleanse, and there's no tier 1 turret here for the Zaya to fall back to, so yeah, she just dies, so there's no point in her using any summoners or anything like that. So good response here from Mad. They give up the tier 2 turret, but they're able to get 2 kills on it. The one thing I will say though, that it's unfortunate for Mad, there's no like other objective to fight for after that, like a Baron, but it's going to give him some map pressure now on top side. Someone on Fnatic's team will need to answer that top wave. Expect to see maybe Xayah run up to top and take that top farm as this wave pushes in as she respawns. Okay, Talia's taking it instead then, so Xayah will probably end up going mid then, I would imagine. Yeah, Xayah's going to go mid then. Wave's already pushed into mid, so there isn't going to be that much gold for the Xayah to pick up though. She's sitting on 7-3, so she's not in an absolute dire urgent need of gold, but even with the kill split, 4 more kills than the Aphelios, she's only 300 gold ahead. Just because of 50 CS behind. Gold count is still really close. There's only 1k gold into it, but it's the 2 dragons, I think. I mean, it's been a fairly even game right now, but the 2 dragons might be the thing that catches off. So Thresh is having to use flash here. Xayah is in super deep. Xayah ulti does come through. Thresh does die. Talia ulti coming in too. This Xayah is basically playing like a absolute Giga Chad frontline. Absolutely no right to do that, but gets away with it somehow. Ahri does go down too. Baron is spawning in 20 seconds. What can Fnatic get off of this during this? Nautilus is kind of edging up looking for a pick, but nothing there. Baron in 15 seconds. Is it enough time? You got Thresh will be there in time. Ahri won't be, and she's got no teleport. I think Fnatic are trying for a bait, but Baron's not even up yet. I mean, Mad has 2 options. Oh, no. Oh, no. Cassante looking like he's going to go down. He gets away with it with his life, but I think Mad had 2 options here. They got the option to try and contest the Baron here, or they just push down mid and get like a tier 2 and then just have to like go, okay, we're just going to have to defend this. There is a dragon spawning in 20 seconds as well. Can Fnatic recall quick enough and get back into this? Probably not, but Cassante also needs to recall, so he's already heading out of base. Mad are looking like they're going to try and deny Fnatic from taking a 3rd dragon here. Better mid priority here. Looks like it's going to come through here. So they're going to clear out this mid wave so it doesn't get the Baron buff later on, so they can push in for the tier 1. Yeah, so Fnatic have no minions here. Mad are going straight into the river to fight this, but I don't know, if I was Mad, I'd be quite scared about this. Looks like Rel's trying to get a flank position here. We've got to remember that Xayah doesn't have her ulti. She used it on Thresh to get the kill earlier, like she did do earlier. See if she gets punished. Rel's got a really nice backline here, and she has flash. She has no cleanse. Xayah isn't really being crowd controlled. Rel went straight for someone else. I don't know what's going on in the back here. Looks like Fnatic kill Cassante. Now Thresh is going down. Massive knock up there with the Poppy, I think that was, and Xayah picks up some more kills. That was kind of confusing because we know that, I mean, they should know that Xayah has no ulti, but Rel kind of just walked past the Xayah. It looked like a really promising flank, but I don't know, question marks going to be said about the actual engage pulling off there. We can probably see a replay here, but we know that Xayah has no ultimate. And we know last time she got punished for not having any ulti, which was really, really nice from Mad, but this time it just completely, the Rel just went past. I don't understand what happened there. Some miscommunication maybe? Yeah, because watch this Rel coming in from the back line onto the Xayah. She kind of like jumps on and then ignores. She goes straight for Poppy. Like the 5% HP Poppy. I don't know if you just crowd control the Xayah and interrupt some of the damage flow coming from her, because the Xayah's the strongest person there. Whilst Poppy's on 5% HP, like, I don't know. It just seems kind of like Rel doesn't do that much damage. It looked kind of optimistic, even from my perspective, that she was even going to get a kill on the Poppy, even on that amount of HP. She's not there for damage. I don't know. So the Xayah did get crowd control a little bit, but I don't know. Could there not have been more crowd control? 3 dragons now over to Fnatic. It's actually looking really, really dire now for Mad. We still got the Baron buff coming here. Talia is in absolute god-awful territory. How is Talia so far looking like she's getting away from this? That is illegal, man. Xayah flashes forward, cleanses. Looks like Rel's probably going to go down here too. Yeah, this is looking like GG now. That was a nice attempt there to pick off the Talia, but Talia was just better. Holy moly. She should have died. Honestly, she should have got caught off better. Like, I don't know. This Rel pick doesn't seem to be that great. Thresh getting caught off again. So yeah, I think this is probably going to be nearing the end now. Quite dramatic. It was really, really close until, honestly, people just got picked off. Like, Mad just got picked off before the Baron fight, kind of unnecessarily. And then that's all it kind of took, really. I think we had some weird positional movements from Cassante from some of the actual team fights that were breaking out, like him getting caught at Baron, the weird TP in the bot lane on the fight. Just Fnatic just playing much better as a unit. Like all their players are just a big power ball of units. Fidel's getting launched back into his base. Nautilus looks for a hook onto the Fidel, so it misses. Cassante and Rel really, really low HP here. Talia getting super greedy looking here at the back. Nautilus hooks onto Thresh. Thresh gets bursted down so hard. So many members of Mad are going down so low. Fnatic's also creeping down lower here too. 3v4 right now. Nautilus lands hook, goes into the fountain, but it does end up being a kill onto the Ahri. One turret going down. There's only going to be Cassante and Rel. I don't think they can stop this. This Eye should be able to take out the structures if she just goes for it. Yeah, it's just the Nexus here. Looks like Cassante's going to go down here too. It's just Rel, and you can just kind of ignore her or kill her if you want to. Yeah, it was a really, really close game until it wasn't. It kind of like car crash, kind of like whiplash kind of situation where there's only 1,000 gold into it. I think probably Mad felt like they were further behind than they actually were. I'd say like the 2 dragons set up Fnatic nicely going into the mid game. I mean, that was kind of dangerous, and then as soon as they got the 3rd one, it's just kind of the weird fights coming, how the Mad would sometimes get like the initial engage up, and then the rest of the players weren't quite ready for it. And I think the worst one was at the Scuttle, honestly, when Rel tried to contest the Scuttle kind of by herself when Fnatic had already had like 20 to 30 seconds of time setting up for that. And I think there just seems to be some tidy up in communication in terms of engaging and things like that, because it just seemed a little bit all over the place. Also, once again, Mad's bot lane kind of looked weaker than Fnatic. It'd be nice to see if Mad can actually punch back in the 2v2 situation, because yeah, like Thresh getting caught off in the bot lane, it's just classic kind of like solo queue shouldn't be happening goofiness. Like there's no way that Thresh should be getting caught out in a situation like that. He has no flash. He has to give the enemy team a bit of respect. And Thresh dying the way he did in lane was really bad. I think actually the gold advantage would have been in Mad's favor if Thresh doesn't die there, and then the kind of, it's just that individual like getting picked off mistakes, and I think that they maybe tidied that up. This series could actually be really, really close and really, really interesting, but we'll see how the rest goes. So this was game number 1. We're going to be covering game number 2 and 3, and if there's a 4 and a 5. I hope you guys are enjoying these type of videos, and I will be covering the finals as well. So I'm going to try and pump out as much of this series as possible today for you to watch. All right, all the best. Take care. Hope you enjoyed the videos, and see you for the next game 2. Bye.